from Malaysia to Hong Kong?
No, it's about 5, 6 hours. Not
That's,
that far at all. Yeah.
that's not bad at all.
Mm.
Not bad. That's like not even across the United States. Facebook, let me do the intro real quickly here, Shakila. I, Shaq the comedian. It's so hard
Yep.
for Americans to think that Shaq's a comedian. We think basketball.
Yeah,
really,
I know.
really bad at the free throw line basketball.
You know what? I have to be more famous than him because now when you Google SHAQ, it always goes to Shaquille O'Neal, uh, and apparently he also does comedy. So even if you Google Shaq the comedian, it goes to him.
Oh my
So I have to get bigger than him.
gosh. I hope you don't mean bigger this way because
No, hopefully not.
yes. You guys, welcome to Comic Spot, the late night edition. We're here with someone from the country of Malaysia, Shaq the comedian. She's here and she's so sweet. She sent me a note. She saw me on Jimmy Earl's show and she told me I was hilarious. And I said, "Do you want to be interviewed?" She said, "Yes." So here she is for us tonight. Hi, Shaq the comedian.
Hi everyone. Thanks Linda for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking all the time to come all the way here from Malaysia just for this. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it was a long flight.
Yes. Let me get you before you fall asleep here. Right? I like to do this introduction for the show, and then I will read
Hmm.
your introduction, and then we'll talk. So just one little
Okay.
minute. Everybody, Comic Spot was created by this crazy little old lady. Yep. I created it because I'm kind of nosy and I want to know my fellow comedians are doing okay. And I want to hear all your stories. You guys put me to bed at night. I mean, you don't make me tired. It's just that, I like good stories and then I go to sleep at night. This is really interesting hearing all of your everything every comic has ever been to. You're making my life so much richer. So come on in and tell me your life story. You're making my life a blessing. You're blessing me and it's blessing other people. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I'm going to read the intro. She gave me a choice. She said I could do the formal or the informal. It's like, which do you want? We're gonna go informal. It's late
Yeah, I like that one.
It's already tomorrow in Malaysia, right?
Yes.
Yes, we set up the time. We had to sync our clocks, and it's a whole nother day. And I'm only used to 3 hours in New York. And anyway, I'll read the intro. Informal. Shaq. Shaq the comedian enjoys seeing people squirm. Don't you love her already? And being uneasy and wondering when special forces will trash the stage and drag her away. Sounds like a fun person to hear. Shaq finds joy in making people laugh, even just for 5 minutes, knowing how much the world lacks laughter. Don't you love her heart? She considers comedy the best way to relate to social messages and whoop people's ass without actually whooping people's ass. Told you this was the informal one. Don't say I didn't give you a trigger warning. You can follow her on social media, Facebook and Instagram at Shaq the comedian, not the basketball player. She will follow you back if your name is Johnson. So I think she's saying she'll follow everybody back. All you have to be is a Johnson, a Smith. It doesn't matter, right? Welcome to
Yeah.
Comic Spot.
Oh,
Woo!
thank you.
So nice to have you. Talk to me about Malaysia with no pandemic and Malaysia with a pandemic.
Ah, gosh, when was that without a pandemic? It seems like it was decades ago. Those good
Yes,
old days.
yes. Oh
No,
my gosh.
comedy, okay, comedy scene before the pandemic, comedy scene in general in Malaysia is still new, but it's been an exciting time last year, this year. So many clubs coming up, so many open mics. Like every day, you could hit different mics, and then since the since the pandemic, first of all, the comedy clubs had to close. So that was our biggest avenue to go, do open mics and shows and that. And then like the ones who were independently running here and there, they didn't do as well because they couldn't get the audience. So it then everything moved online. People started doing virtual stuff. In a way, that was good. Like I got to do stuff, in different countries virtually. So that was the good of it.
Yes.
But still, it's nothing like life, right?
True.
And Malaysia has opened up. The one of the comedy clubs opened up, which is a crack house, opened up like 2 weeks ago. But given the new social distancing rules, so they are it's like they can only let about 30, 40 people in, and so the number of people are small, and it's different. It's so different. Like it feels weird even.
Yes.
Even going back is weird. Yeah,
So weird. Yes.
yeah.
So talk to me about your early life. You're a
Mm-hmm.
comedian. So somewhere in your life, way back when, you had got a kick out of making people laugh or getting attention or making people like you because you're, where did it come from to be funny when you,
Okay. To be fair, I started stand-up comedy quite late in life. But early on, like in school and that, I was, I was, I was like this happy-go-lucky person, pulling pranks. Like I was always seemed happy, but it was at, I always thought I want to be a court jester more than a stand-up comedian.
yes, yes, I love
I
that
always
idea.
said, yeah, I always said that if I die, that will be my job in heaven. I'm assuming, I'm assuming I'm going to heaven now. I'm not so sure.
My
But
God.
yeah, that was my background. And then after I left school and uni and all that, like in my 20s and 30s, um, I forgot how to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
That was my life growing up, adult, and it was so bad. It was like I had lost who I was.
Yes, I
And then,
relate. I relate.
yeah, and in my 40s, thank God I came back. And then I actually found comedy about mid 40s, mid 40s, yeah, and particularly stand up comedy.
Wonderful. I know somebody in New York, and he wanted to do comedy his whole life, and then
Mm-hmm.
he got married to somebody who did not want him to do that, and after
Oh,
and after she unfortunately passed away, he started doing comedy right before he was 80 years old.
oh, I love stories like that. I love stories like that. Yeah.
He lost his funny bone. I mean, he the Poconos. Have you heard about vaudeville, the
Yes,
era in
yes,
the 40s and 50s? He
yes.
went there and got a job and went on stage, and he bombed, and he never went back to comedy, but he always wanted to, and he finally did
Mm.
it. It's a great
Oh, that's
story.
so nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think like I I I tell myself I should have joined earlier, but then I guess because of what the stuff that I went through, I now have a lot of material.
Yes, that's the thing. The more you go through in life, the more material you do have.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
and
So
that's
it all
why
works out.
and that's kind of why when 14, 15-year-old people start comedy, to begin with, they're not talking about deep material, but later in life they
Mm.
start. Yeah.
Yeah, correct.
So when the very first time that you decided to do comedy, what made you go and do comedy, and how did your first time on stage go?
Okay, cool. My stand-up comedy thingy started from writing. I was in a writing group. I had tried out different genres, and the there was a workshop that was going on in an island called Penang, which is part of Malaysia. That's my hometown actually.
Wow.
Um, so I went for this workshop, writing workshop, and I told myself, I've tried different genres. I'm going to try writing humor. And then the thing about the workshop is you had to write about your life. I said, "Oh my God, how am I going to make my life humorous?" It's been
Wow.
crappy.
That's asking
So,
a
but
lot.
yeah, and I said, okay, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a try. So
Somebody
yes, I
somebody
did.
on here is telling you hello.
Oh,
Sorry to
hi,
interrupt you.
Minnie.
Bob
No worries.
Brewer. Bob Brewer and at DP is saying,
Hi guys,
oh,
I'm
sorry to
Shaq.
interrupt you. Back. I know. I was like, I gotta tell her. Okay, back to you.
Thanks,
So
thanks.
you were writing about
Uh,
your life and your how do you make that
yeah,
funny?
yeah. I was thinking like up to that point, it was actually quite serious. Like everything, I'm in general not a funny person. I play pranks and that, but my face is straight. Like I'm not the life of a party or things like that. Yeah, I just make people laugh on the side. So anyway, it was from the writing workshop. The finalists of the writing workshop, they had like a few, like 10, 12 people, and the finalists get to present their stories at the Georgetown Literary Festival. And so I was one of the finalists, and I was presenting my funny story, uh, part of a panel. And then there was someone in the audience who asked, um, so what are you going to do after this? Then I said, actually, I kind of like telling this funny story. I might do more of it. I just said that. And then there was someone else in the audience who came up to me after this panel thingy and said, hey, we're starting a comedy workshop in Penang. Would you like to join? And it's just that at that point, I live in, although Penang is my hometown, but I live in Kuala Lumpur, which is about uh, 300 something kilometers. So let me see in miles. About 100 miles or so away. So, but it was Penang. So, okay, yeah, sure. I'd love to. I say, I'd love to. This is what I want to do actually, like comedy, right? I mean, I've been exposed to stand up, but I have not personally done it myself until then. And even then, I was just telling a humorous story of my life. It wasn't actual stand up. So that's where I started. It was workshop. In a month there will be workshop. Fortnight later it will be a show. So it's workshop show. So I was actually very fortunate. My first time on stage, I got help. Like everyone knew this is like a training group, so they were not hard on us.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
So the first time I actually have a recording of my first time. It sucked so bad. It sucked so bad. But
Totally.
everybody was
Yeah.
so encouraging. And I thought, oh, I did well. I must do this more.
Yeah, you get to,
Yeah, but I cringe every time I look at it
me too.
now. But yeah, that's how I started. And I'm so glad I started in Penang. Like Penang is a very artsy place, everyone is accepting of each other. Yeah. So that's where I first started. And that was in 2016.
Wow. And so, how has
2016.
your, since 2016 when you started, how has your
Mm-hmm.
comedy career been? Because you mentioned Malaysia is starting to have
Mm,
comedy. So,
yeah. Well, I'm okay with the way I'm going because I'm not doing comedy full time. So since then, I've lost count of how many shows I've done, but I've done shows like themed shows. I've done one TV appearance. I've
wow.
done, yeah, uh, I've done like in different places in Malaysia, not just the city. Um, and I also belong to a comedy group where we as a group we perform and we put up our own shows. And I've headlined smaller gigs. I've emceed. I've played host. So it's not there yet, but it's growing. It's growing. So I'm okay with the way it's going. sometimes I get, it should be faster, I should be headlining, blah, blah, blah. But I know it takes time.
What's the main goal you're going after with your comedy in the next
for
5 years?
for now, I want to do like uh, you every year there's a show called Comedy Central Asia, and they put up a big show live, and I want to be on that stage.
Oh, that's great. Do you see yourself on that stage?
uh, at first I was very gung-ho, like, oh, that's where I'm going to go, and that was like 2-3 years back.
Yes, yes,
You're always so enthusiastic when you start off, right? Then
yes.
now, okay, I think I may need a bit more time.
Yeah, yeah. I watch
Yeah.
America's Got Talent, and The
Hmm.
Voice. I watch all those contest shows, and I see myself on the stage. I'm almost, if there's a comedian on stage, I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm breathing the way they're breathing. I'm imagining myself being them and what I would do. Like, I would just die to be on one of those shows.
Oh no, you gone for any of the auditions? You totally should.
Oh, you're so sweet. I went with a friend, that person in New York that got on the stage at age
Uh-huh.
80. He was my
Oh.
landlord, and he took me to America's Got Talent audition, and I got to sit in the room while he was auditioning with three judges that weren't paying attention. It was horrible.
Ah.
He did great,
Ah.
but they purposely don't pay attention to you because they want to see if they can throw you off. And they're sick and tired of
Oh.
by 2 in the afternoon. They don't. What are you going to do that's
Yeah,
unique?
yeah, yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
it's real tough. But I got to see it, and one of these
Mm.
days I'm going to do it. I don't know when. But I don't want to
Yeah,
do
you
it
have to. You have to.
Yeah, I'll tell you if I ever get the guts. It took me till I was 63 to get on stage.
Yeah,
How does your
I know,
family
like,
how
go
does your
ahead, sorry.
how does your family feel about you doing comedy? You have a day job. You're on your lunch.
Hmm.
What's your day job?
I'm a teacher. Can you see my
I
whiteboard?
think it's
My students,
hilarious.
my students are next door. I said, "Be quiet. I'm going to do this interview."
It's so funny because I should have done the formal introduction, not the informal.
No, that's fine. Yeah. Uh, I forgot your question.
Oh, me too. Oh, what does your family think
Oh,
of
my
you?
family. Um, my parents live with me.
Yes.
I'm not the only child, but my sister lives in the States. She's actually in Oregon.
That's where I'm from.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from Portland, Oregon.
Oh my
Originally.
God. She lives in Canby,
No
but she works
way.
in Port. Yes, she works in Portland, but not now. Like, she was working from home. But yeah, she works in Portland.
What does
Oh,
she?
I
What
should
kind?
totally hook both of you up.
Yeah, wonder what kind of company she works for in Portland. I was there
Um,
65
it's a
years.
it's a energy based company.
Yep.
She's like yeah. She used I forgot the name of the company. It's a energy based company, and she's like what do they call? She's like the seller, like she sells
Yep.
stuff or something
I've
like that.
done that kind of work too.
Ah, okay, okay.
That's
Yeah,
really, my hats off to her for doing that. So
yeah,
your
it's
fam your
yeah.
family your family was okay with you doing this as
Uh,
or they just
for the first 6 months, I didn't tell them why I was going to Penang. All they knew is I was doing a writing workshop.
they think you were writing on the chalkboard for the students. My handwriting's a little sloppy. I got to go to this writing workshop. Kids are
Yeah, that's right.
flunking.
But eventually, I saw something like that happening on TV, and
Yeah.
my dad was watching, and I was there, and I said, "That's what I'm doing nowadays." And then he was like, for a while, he was quiet, and then he got, like, after 2 seconds, he got very excited. He said, and he started giving me jokes, like
Oh,
off the internet kind of jokes.
other people's jokes. Great.
I said, no, no, we can't. We have to write our own jokes.
You're up there doing Rodney Dangerfield. Oh, I gotta tell you, dad jokes, really bad dad jokes, limericks. Oh my gosh! So, how do you like it now that you've been doing comedy almost 5 years, right?
This will be, yeah, fourth year.
Okay.
The first year I did so intermittently, doesn't really count, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Like, I don't need to get paid. I will do this for free.
Thank
Seriously.
you.
Of course,
That's what
I
I'm
need the
talking.
money.
I would do
But
it.
no, yeah, I'll do it. I love this. I love doing comedy. I get excited preparing for stuff. You know, if it's stuff dealing with comedy, like even if I have to like put up a show and that and those things that come, as long as it's related to comedy, I'm all in.
Ha, that's so great. So
Yeah, I love it.
so you took a comedy writing workshop. Did that help you with every aspect that you needed? I took a comedy writing class and
Mm-hmm.
it taught me everything about writing, nothing about putting together a comedy set. So
Ah.
I got all of it. He taught me how to write 30 jokes a day. So I have
Mm-hmm.
30 jokes a day, 30 jokes a day, 30
Mm-hmm.
piles and piles of jokes, and I didn't know what to do with them. What do you do? Throw them in the air and grab a couple, you know? So
Yeah. I That was the Penang one was my first workshop. It was a good beginners workshop, but since then I've done like other workshops, which has helped me grow more. There was one workshop. I That was the one that they had a finale show and the winner gets to join the Hong Kong Comedy Festival. That workshop, they didn't just tell you how to write jokes, they actually told you how to put up a show, market yourself, the
wow.
other aspects of comedy. So that was really good.
Yeah.
I thought that was useful. But still, there's still so much to learn. There's
I
so much to
know.
learn.
And
Yeah.
you have to, everybody has to just enjoy the ride and learn what you learn, and
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
can't rush it. And it's like,
Yeah.
people are like, people say the weirdest, we say the weirdest things like parables to each other. There's no shortcuts. You need to learn to read the room. Just enjoy the ride. It's like, what? I want to know now.
Yeah. Uh, I'm at that point where crowd work, right? I,
Yes.
I'm I'm trying to like better myself at that. That's my where I'm at now, crowd work. Like
Yes.
I've got my set and that, but sometimes I'm not good at reading people and the crowd work thing, but that's what I'm learning now. Yeah.
And are you teaching that to yourself or asking others or just trying to step out and do it and learn that way?
Um, a little of both. Like I
Mhm.
do ask like those season hosts and those who are really good at crowd work. I do ask them, but mostly you have to like just do it yourself. You know,
Yeah.
fall and get up and fall and get up.
It's so
Yeah,
weird because when you're doing crowd work, it can either elevate what you're doing or it can really make it go sideways.
yeah, I
So,
know.
so
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of it. I like that it's a bit risky. Yeah.
yes.
So,
Yeah.
but I enjoy it. I enjoy it. I I really like playing with that's what I missed during the lockdown and all that. Even though we were doing stuff virtually, you couldn't really have a conversation with people, the
Yes.
audience. Yeah. You
You
couldn't
know,
hear them laugh.
if you like crowd work, maybe hosting a show like what I'm doing would be good because I'm getting so much extra material from talking to
Mm-hmm.
people. You say something, I think it's something funny, and then I write it down. Oh, that's funny. I
Mm-hmm.
can, and
Uh-huh.
this is like this is crowd work during the pandemic. We don't have a crowd, but like I'm
Ah.
practicing crowd work is all I'm doing. Like
Ooh, that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, it helps you get more
Yeah.
material.
Yeah. I've actually been hosting. I don't know why suddenly everything was hosting. I hosted a show yesterday. Tonight
Huh.
I'm going to host a show. Yeah. Uh, and I'll be trying out another hosting gig next week at an open mic.
Well, great. I want you to
Yeah,
tell me how they go. Keep me
I will write to
posted.
you. Yes, sure.
I think I should let you go. I've kept you away from the students. They're probably writing on the chalkboard now. But now you've officially graduated from the comic spot. That's what I call it.
Nice. I love your intro song.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, I love it. I've been
I'm
watching some of your stuff.
Thank you. The person that did the song for me, he came up with a song. It was like a rap song, and I'm like, it's got to be old fashioned, and
Uh-huh.
when you hear it, you can't get it out of your head.
Yeah, that is the kind of song it is. Yeah, I
I
love
wanted
it.
to burn it in people's brains.
Also, I just want to say that I totally admire what you're doing, and you don't look 69. Goodness, you look like 40 something.
Thank
I want to
you.
be you when I grow up.
Yay, I did it. I'm trying to give the young girls in America a run for their money.
Yes.
I could go on for days. I have jokes about competing with the young girls, like I'm doing that. So you've been amazing. And any month, every month,
Mhm.
you can come on and plug something you're doing. During the pandemic, take
Mhm.
advantage of it because people are sitting around this country and don't know what to do. They can't, we're not allowed to stick our fingers in our orifices, we're home alone. Just tell me you want to come on and plug a show you're doing.
Mhm.
And people here will
Oh,
come and
cool.
watch.
Okay, just one plug for
Okay.
tonight.
Yes, please.
It will be US very early in the morning. However, it will be on YouTube, so you can actually watch later. Um, Google. Sorry, we are on Instagram and Facebook. I love KL.
I love, and what does KL stand for?
Sorry, laugh. Lughh. Laugh. Laugh.
I laugh KL.
KL. KL is short form for Kuala Lumpur, the capital city.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
Wow.
we're having a show, and it's an international show. It's actually called cross border comedy.
Cross
So that
what?
people like cross border comedy.
Wow.
So there's people from like 12 countries, all different time zones, and we've got quite a few from the USA.
Wow. When is that going to be Kuala Lumpur time?
Kuala Lumpur time, 8:30 p.m.
On what day?
tonight. 10th.
Tonight.
Yes.
Wow. How many hours are you ahead of us? You're ahead of,
I think 15 hours.
okay. They can
So,
figure it out.
oh, sorry. Where are you right now? But
I'm I'm in Nevada, California Pacific time. Pacific.
okay. Then it's 15 hours.
You're 15 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll let the people do the math themselves. You don't want me near
Yeah.
math.
You just go to the time converter, just put that in, it'll do it for you.
Wait a minute. They have a time converter?
Yeah.
I've been
Yes.
using an abacus and a sundial.
No, go there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Shaq, the
Thank you.
comedian. You guys, she's on. I'll put her links up in 3 to 7 days. Shaq, the comedian, the professional version of the video will come out,
Okay.
like what you've viewed, and I will send it to you by private messenger if you'll share it with your people again. The
All right,
final
cool. I
version of it.
will.
Thank you
All right.
so much. You're
Thank you,
awesome.
Linda. Have a
Thank you.
great night. Bye
Go get
bye.
them. Bye. Love you lots. Take it easy.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it so much.
Bye.
Bye, Shaq. Thank you for coming, Shaq. I say bye 17 times. That's my word.